So here's my take on the American market, and I've been here about a week, and it's been really interesting. I'm on this beautiful river here in Atlanta, and I just thought I'd come for a walk. I actually said to someone, "Where's a nature reserve? I'm sick of being in this big city. I need some time out in nature." So what's my take on everything? So firstly, economically, I've spoken to one person. He thinks that we could see a big housing crash happen in the coming future, mainly around affordability and the fact that people are not able to afford the properties that they've got, and they're trying to sell them and they're not getting the prices they want, and the prices are spiraling downwards. Interesting enough, he didn't own a house, so that's just an interesting context. I spoke to another gentleman, and he said no, he completely disagrees with that, and particularly in the multifamily affordable space. You can't build enough houses here in Atlanta based on the demand, with people moving to Florida, to Atlanta, to Texas, and everything in between. Then you kind of move on to the economics and what they think with regards to the elections and where things are going. And what I find really interesting is there's been a lot of talk here about inflation and affordability and how much things cost, and I've been blown away. I mean, I went today to CVS, which is the pharmacy. I bought some waters. I bought 3 ready-made meals, and that's it. And it cost $80. That's a hell of a lot of money. I had Uber Eats the other night. A pizza cost me $55. I'm staying in a real shithole of an Airbnb. It's $100 a night, and it's not even my own flat. I'm staying in a house of multiple occupancy where you have to share the toilet and share the kitchen, and it just gives you an idea around price and what people are paying here. I went out for dinner with Brendan, like I mentioned, and he actually paid for me, but the steaks were $100 each, and you wouldn't pay $10 for that at Spur, to put in perspective. And what I found really, really interesting is that everywhere is full and it's pumping. And so there's certainly no issue in terms of the restaurants having clients in their shops. And then finally on the politics, it's an interesting one because this trip I've only been to one place, Atlanta, and I know when I've done this in the past, I find it very polarized. If you're in New York versus Atlanta versus Texas versus San Francisco, you get very, very different opinions, and Atlanta's kind of somewhere in the middle. But generally what I found here is that capitalist people would like Trump to win. I haven't met really anyone that wanted the Democrats to win, but I have met a lot of people that weren't happy with either candidate and said they were going to it's called write it in, which is basically where you put another name down. It's like scrapping your vote, because you only get to choose actually between the Republicans or the Democrats, and the third option is to write it in, which apparently means you're just technically wasting your vote. So I think there's a lot of disillusionment around politics in general. But generally people seem to think that Trump would be a better option from an economic perspective in terms of where the world is. I will do an update again by the time I leave, but I've been here a week. This is my input. I think that sentiment is pretty high. Business seems to be pumping, and people on the whole seem to be in a good place in terms of the overall thinking of where the American economy is going. Anyway, that's my update from the ground here in America. Cheers.